I'm pretty sure by now you heard the story out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. And once again, a race soldier shot a brother in cold blood. So a 37-year-old brother was shot and killed in the street outside of his own home in North Carolina by an off-duty sheriff's deputy over the weekend, and the incident has sparked protests in the town of Fayetteville amid claims, about what led to the confrontation. Now, they said it was reported that at 2:15 p.m. on January 8th, Jason Walker lost his life outside of his Bingham Drive home after an encounter in the roadway with a pickup driving off-duty deputy with the Cumberland County Sheriff's Office. Now, they say a statement from the Fayetteville Police Department initially alleged that Walker ran into traffic and jumped onto a moving vehicle. Why would he do that? Why? That doesn't make sense. They say before Deputy Jeffrey Hash shot him. They say after the shooting, Hash called 911 to report the incident. And they say witnesses say the deputy did not move to save the man's life after he was shot. They said, but rather called his higher ups in the sheriff's department. Oh, that's the same thing Amber Geiger did. You remember that? You know, when she shot both of them, John, she didn't call for help. She called her higher ups while the man is dying. Now, Elizabeth Ricks got a hurt vehicle to try to save Walker by applying pressure to his wounds. Ricks said instead of trying to help, the deputy called the sheriff's office. Now, let me let you hear the 911 tape, and you're going to hear exactly, what this dude said. Doesn't make sense. And you're going to hear the crowd also. Let's go ahead and roll that clip.
Fayetteville 911, what's the address of the emergency?
Yes, ma'am, it's an emergency. I'm on Shenandoah and Bingham Drive. I just had a male jump on my vehicle and break my windshield. I just shot him.
You said you shot him?
Yes, he jumped on my car.
I understand what you're saying. I'm just trying to get help to you, okay? What's your name?
Yes, I'm a lieutenant with the Cumberland County Sheriff's Office.
Okay, listen to me. Are you right beside the subject?
I am.
Okay, is he breathing?
He's gone, man.
You said
no, ma'am,
okay.
He is not. He's gone.
When did this happen?
Just now.
Okay.
I need you to talk to these people gathering.
Okay, all right, listen to me. What kind of vehicle are you in?
I am in a red Ford F-150. He has shattered my windshield.
Okay, I understand. What kind of vehicle was he in?
Just keep moving, ma'am. I'm the deputy sheriff. Come here. He jumped on my vehicle. I just had to shoot him.
Okay, can you tell me what happened?
I was driving down the road, and he came flying across Bingham Drive running, and then I stopped so I wouldn't hit him, and he jumped on my car and started screaming, pulled my windshield wipers off, and started beating my windshield and broke my windshield. I have my wife and my daughter in my vehicle.
Okay. Did he have any weapons, sir?
No, he just tore my wipers off and started beating the door.
Okay.
He busted my windshield. I don't know, ma'am.
All right. Take deep breaths for me, okay? How many people are surrounding you?
You what now, ma'am?
How many people are out there around you?
There's tons of cars and there's people gathering around.
Okay.
He had a light pulse right now. The EMS here now.
Okay, they are en route, okay? Where was he shot?
I have a trauma nurse out here.
Okay, I understand. Can somebody tell me where he was shot?
Do you find the holes, ma'am? No. I'm seeing blood on his side, ma'am.
Okay. Is she getting a clean, dry cloth?
Okay. Call Papa now. Here's the towel. Where did you shoot him, sir? Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Just focus on me for a minute, okay? Does somebody have a clean, dry cloth?
Ma'am, say again?
Okay. Does anybody have a clean, dry cloth?
Yes, we are plugging the holes now.
Okay. All right. Tell her to keep pressure on the hole and don't lift it up.
Now. Where did you shoot him? Where did you shoot him? I don't know. He was on the front of my vehicle. He jumped on my car. Where is the entry point? I do not know.
Okay, all right. Don't engage with them. Just talk to me, okay?
Okay, I'm trying to protect my daughter and my wife.
I understand. I
People
understand.
are hostile right now.
I understand they're hostile, but you just talk to me, okay? We have units. Let me know when they are with you, okay?
I hear SPD's here now.
Okay, are they right there beside you?
What now, ma'am?
Okay, are they right there beside you?
They're pulling up now.
Okay, you stay on the line with me until they get right beside you, okay?
Okay.
All right, just talk to me and don't engage with the people, okay?
I'm trying. I'm just trying to protect my family. That's all.
I understand. Nobody else is hurt, correct?
No, nobody else is hurt.
Okay, all right.
Okay, can I talk to the officers now?
Yes, talk to the officers, sir.
Okay, all right.
All right, bye-bye.
You heard all the BS in that. He didn't even want to give up where he even shot him. Come on, let's call it what it is. Anybody that know anything about firearms, you know exactly where you shot at a person. He could have told him I shot at his chest, I shot at this way, I shot at that way. He didn't even want to say where he shot him at. You understand what I'm saying? So let's back up. This dude says that he's crossing, he driving. This dude just comes out of nowhere, jumps on top of his vehicle, start beating the car, trying to break the windshield wiper, all of that. This guy said, okay, you inside the vehicle, you have more protection, okay, than anything. So why did you get out and shoot him? Because this is more of what everybody thought was going to happen after this Rittenhouse trial. Do you remember after George Zimmerman and how more brothers started getting shot after George Zimmerman, especially after he got off? And then, you know, brothers and sisters are turning up in the streets, having uprisings to calm, you know, and that definitely pumped the brakes on a lot of it. And they think that, well, because Rittenhouse got off, or we can just go back just to doing what we was trying to do, after the Zimmerman case. And that's not going to go down like that. Just is beyond with you. Now, like I said, if the white community didn't turn up for their, people, it's on them. But when it comes to us, we're not going to sit up there because we understand how dangerous that is to sit up here and allow them just to willy-nilly just shoot us down. So what the witnesses are saying is that the brother was trying to cross the street before the guy got there. He ended up hitting him with his truck, okay? And then after, the deputy shot him. We know a lot of these dudes as in, white supremacist groups. We know this. We know how they have a disdain definitely for black people. And the thing about it, he shot him. He was like, saying, let him bleed out. That's what he was doing. Let him bleed out. Cause see, they have this thing about if they shoot you, it's better for you to die than for you to live. Because of course, one, you could tell your story, and get them in trouble, sue, etc. Right? Two, they love to catch a body because a lot of times that's ways for them to move up in the ranks is catching a black body. Now, the trauma nurse who was there, she said this. She said, Santa Walker, he said, I didn't see anyone in distress. She said, the man was just walking home. He said, it breaks my heart he didn't survive, and I'm trying to cope with that as well, she said, at a march on Sunday. He said, I don't want to take away from Jason or the injustice, and I'm not going to be silent. It said the reported two people who claimed to be witnesses said on social media they saw the deputy hit Walker with his truck as he was crossing the street, then shoot him. Now, of course, there was a video of the aftermath, and of course, I'm not going to play that here or any of our channels. I'm not going to play that because we, see too much trauma of black people. And now, of course, you can go look for that yourself, but we're just not going to do that. No, I think we could tell a story without showing, black people on the ground like that. They said what can be discerned from the video is that a man in the red pickup truck is on the ground while two women and a different man are trying to help the man on the ground. They said, I don't know where the entry point is. He won't tell me where he shot him. This is the sheriff's deputy. He won't tell him. Keeping it a mystery for the nurse to be looking for instead of saying something so she can actually try to help. He just, of course, you heard him saying, now one time I'm just trying to protect my daughter and my wife. No, you didn't do that. And he's claiming people are hostile. Well, one brother in the video has said, man, don't be saying that. Ain't nobody hostile out here, because he's just trying to get off of it, right? So Another thing they decided to do, they started hurrying up and scrubbing his social media immediately. Okay. Because what they were trying to do is stop people to find out his name, but that didn't work. The internet sleuths got his name, his address, everything. I mean, they were deleting his Facebook, his LinkedIn. Oh boy, they went to delete. And what them idiots don't realize, if a person got a link to your page, there's a way to see that page even after you delete it. You understand? Now, I mean, I even know the site how to look that up. But, of course, I'm not going to say nothing here. I mean, because, you got too many people be listening, right? So anyway, but if you got the link of the actual page, 9 times out of 10, you can pull that page right back up, or at least so you can see that page. It won't be like the full page. You can investigate it, but at least you can get the full screenshot of what his page was, or whoever's page was, even if after it was deleted. So they said on Sunday, the Fayetteville Police Chief Gina Hawkins, she's a black woman, clarified rumors of the incident. Say one thing she noted was that the pickup truck had a black box that would have registered if the vehicle struck any person or thing. She said that there was only one eyewitness who told law enforcement that Walker was not hit by the truck. Okay, so since the incident, it's a North Carolina Bureau of Investigation has been brought on to review Hash's conduct. The FBI has been notified, and the agency was not tapped to join the investigation. However, the FBI Public Affairs Specialist Shelley Lynch has shared that we are aware of the shooting death in Fayetteville and in regular contact with local and state authorities. If in the course of North Carolina SBI investigator information comes to light of a potential federal violation, the FBI is prepared to investigate. They said on January the 10th, the Cumberland County Sheriff's Office released a statement saying that Hash has been placed on administrative leave pending internal investigation. He's been on the county's law enforcement branch since 2005 and is now a lieutenant in the civil section of the department. And the Cumberland County District Attorney Billy West announced Sunday that his office is recusing itself from an investigation to avoid appearance of conflict of interest. I think that's smart for them to do that. The probe will be handled by the North Carolina Conference of District Attorneys. And they said on behalf of the Sheriff's Office, Lieutenant Patrice Pogurti, the public information officer, offered remarks to the family saying, "Our sincere condolences go out to Jason Walker's family." Said the family has said to the press they do not believe what was reported by about their loved one's death. They said, "I don't believe he threw himself on top of the truck. I don't believe that either." They said, "I believe he wanted to live. I just want justice for my cousin because it's not adding up." Now, the brother had a son, and Benjamin Crump has been retained by the family to bring more attention and light and things with the case. So, say what you want about Benjamin Crump, but he do get the attention, right? And that's really, that really counts in a lot of ways. Because, Benjamin Crump isn't a prosecutor, anything like that. So if something happened to your loved one, I'm pretty sure you want all of the people you can to speak on this situation. But we know this is Babylon. We know this is the white supremacist enclave, what it is. They feel they can just run around just, shooting brothers or sisters or whatever they can do. And that's just not going to be tolerated. We as a community will never tolerate that at all. And the reason why we can't tolerate that, because if we allow it to happen, then it could touch any one of us. And, Jason Walker was our brother. Okay. And our brother's life, definitely mattered to his family. He was a father. So now you got a child that's going to grow up without a father because the race soldiers took the father out. You understand what I'm saying? That's very, very despicable to me. Very, very despicable. Also, this sheriff's department isn't being cooperative, because who said to start deleting all his social media? Let's call that what it is. But they wasn't fast enough. And that's what I love about the internet, because see, the mainstream media, they'll be on code because they're going to defend these race soldiers. All the information you see coming out now is because, once again, the internet sleuths are faster, and they got to put it, and once you put it out on the internet, the mainstream media ain't got no choice but to report on it now. They got no choice but to even put out what you said as internet sleuths, because, they go make them look bad. You understand? I mean, they like to lie, of course. But you have to understand, we living in a time where the internet, media, and all of that is being decentralized. And that was the worst thing ever to happen to a lot of the powers that be, is decentralization. Just as much, you talk about the blockchain is decentralized. Well, that's what's happening in media. That's what's happening in the movies, right? Because, you know, now you want to make a movie, you don't have to go through Hollywood to do it. It's decentralized. That's going to start happening with sports. Everything going to become decentralized. Well, you don't need none of them for anything. And a decentralized news reporting is beautiful because the mainstream media, if you think about it, at least when I was growing up in the 80s and 90s, right? You know, I graduated high school in the late 90s. You know, I know that one of the first videos we've ever seen was, you know, that was captured something in real time was Rodney King. And you remember because of that video, it will spark the LA uprising. Okay. And rightfully so. So I knew something was going to be different when people start having access to all these video recorders, recording the police, things like that. Because remember, these jokers been doing this long time. This is nothing new. It's just captured on video. So when we talk about, you know, having a code, sticking together, it's because our life depends on it. Okay. A life depends on it. And it don't matter where you come from. Even if you're a black immigrant here, you are in the same position. You know, that's why when I had a conversation with a Ethiopian group the other day, you know, I told them that about y'all have to stop separating yourself and unify with black Americans because y'all gonna get in trouble here. And you can't look to black Americans if you chose to separate yourself. Because they were like, well, you separate yourself. I mean, we can't really do much for you because you actually don't want to unify. And I really explained that message to them. And they understood, you know, I ran it to them. I said, hey, this is why you don't separate. I said, you putting yourself in more of a vulnerable position when you separate yourself. That's not wise in this country to do that. But the brothers and sisters are turning up. The brothers and sisters are upset. They demand justice. And this race soldier, he needs to go to jail too. He definitely needs to go to jail. And the brothers and sisters going to see to it that he go to jail. He's not going to go back to life as he know it or whatever. Just as much as Kim Potter, her behind went to jail. Derek Chauvin behind went to jail. That's just going to be the standard operating procedure from now on. You shoot one of ours in cold blood, you got to go. You got to go to jail. It ain't no questions asked. And if they don't put you in jail, well, you already kind of know what kind of price tag usually runs up when black folks turn up. You know, normally about $1 billion. And I don't think like I said this many times before, I don't think one race soldier is worth $1 billion personally, especially when they committed the crime, put they behind in jail, and it sends a message. You know, I tell black people, you know, we don't have no George Floyd, you know, police bill, but you got the community, and it would be cheaper for them and more inexpensive for them to pass a George Floyd bill than it would be for people all over the country just to be getting turned up behind something. Because understand, if this race soldier isn't arrested, it's going to spread out more and more and more. People are frustrated. People lost jobs. You know, last time even with George Floyd, a lot of people was out there waiting for George Floyd, but they took advantage of the situation because they were just pissed off, you know, and everything. So they need to get this race soldier in prison. It's just that simple. He need to get in prison. And definitely we all as a community going to stay on top of this. I know there's the other shooting that happened, I think in Georgia. We're going to get on that as well. But I wanted to make sure to get on this one with the 911 tapes. And you hearing how he's contradicting himself completely. But we definitely got to keep our eyes on the swivel, understand the race soldiers are out there. And just even John and Jane Q. Public, that's in the white supremacist community, they roaming around, and you just got to make sure, you know, just keep your head on the swivel and trust that inner voice in you to let you know when danger is coming. Pay attention to it. Don't turn it away. But, you know, once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming on the podcast this morning. We greatly appreciate you doing so. This podcast is a light in darkness. It's also going to shine a light in the path that you need to walk. And that's part of what, you know, we are doing here. And to continue to do that, of course, it takes funds to do anything, especially in this work. The mainstream media has millions upon millions of dollars to operate with. We don't even have anything like that. But I believe our work is definitely touching the people, you know, not only here in America, but throughout the world. It's giving people, you know, what they need in the area of news and information. we are dedicated to our community completely. Everyone else have their own platforms, and that's fine. We need to have ours as well. And at the same time, we have to make sure to support our platform. So we do have our fundraiser still going. You could click that link, and then you could, hear exactly where we're going in 2022. And for any amount, we greatly appreciate that. We could keep moving forward with this. We rise and fall based on the people. I definitely want to thank everyone who have donated so far. And I want to thank everyone who's going to donate either today, tomorrow, or Friday, or whatever day. I want to thank you in advance, for taking the time enough to support Black media. So make sure you subscribe. That way you'll find out when we post our podcast. We post the majority of our podcasts here on this channel by 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, unless something happened. But look out 8 a.m. Central Standard Time for our podcast on a normal basis. And thank you for listening, and see you next time.